Angela, New Bern Fire-Rescue was founded in 1845, but it didn't become an active, consistent presence until after the Civil War 150 years ago. And while a lot has changed in all those years, I found the core of firefighting remains the same.
When the bell hits, it's a bad thing the way you're going.
That bad thing the 4 firefighters of New Bern Fire-Rescue's Engine 11 heads to is a car wreck on Highway 17. As engineer Glenn Kiley drives us to that crash, firefighter Johnny Gaskins prepares his body and his mind for that moment he steps off the truck.
You get that little bit of adrenaline rush. You just get in the mindset of thinking about your job, thinking about what you need to do.
He and firefighter Steve Jassett go through mental checklists of what they need to do as soon as they arrive, making sure the people in the crushed cars are safely on the way to the hospital. As they clean up the scene, Lieutenant David Works and firefighter Jassett watch as people drive by taking photos on their cell phones.
You know it's just going to be another accident.
Whether it's distracted drivers or a fire itself, danger has always been present in the more than 150 years since the New Bern Fire Department's original chartered company was founded. It's the oldest in the state. That company was the Atlantic Hook and Ladder Company, founded in 1845, but at the start of the Civil War, it became inactive as members fought for the Confederate Army. Then in 1865, a group of Union soldiers formed the New Bern Steam Fire Engine Company No. 1. Both companies were rivals until they merged in 1928. You can see the technology's changed so much, and unlike back then, today's firefighters are constantly training, including the men of Engine 11 who head directly from that car crash to the academy to fight a simulated fire. But even with all this training, accidents do happen. Lieutenant Works slips and falls while preparing to train. He's taken to the hospital to be evaluated.
You hit the corner of the building right here, right?
Yeah,
his side is there.
That's broke some teeth.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
But that doesn't stop the guys at Engine 11. The training exercise goes on. It's next man up. Engineer Kiley is now the acting officer. It's a well-choreographed dance. One wrong move can spell disaster.
We'll make sure we come back the next day, because we're a team.
With each team member focused on the objective, going into a burning building and putting the fire out.
You're not so much thinking about the dangers of what's going on. You try to keep it pushed in the back of your mind.
The heavy rain is blinding, all the noise deafening. But they get the job done. I watch as everyone moves slowly from exhaustion, waiting to relax at the station. But before we return to the station, we visit Lieutenant Works at the hospital, and it's at that moment I realize, despite all the changes New Bern Fire-Rescue's seen in its more than 150 years of existence, for these guys, firefighting really remains the same.
The brotherhood is there still, is to taking care of each other.
Probably spend more time here at the firehouse than I do at my own house.
And it still takes a calling, still takes a special person to do the job that we do.
It reminds me of something Lieutenant Works told me just a few hours before he got injured.
It's just a rewarding job all around. We come to work every day, it's like a big family. We work together, we sleep together, we go to calls together, and it's just like a big happy family.
And Lieutenant Works will make a full recovery. He's expected to return next week. Brandon Goldner, 9 on your side.
New Bern Fire-Rescue is the oldest fire department in the state, and while much has changed, including the technology and the training, our Brandon Goldner has more on why the core of firefighting remains the same. Brandon.
Angela, most of us as kids, myself included, we dreamed of riding in that big, bright red fire engine, but there's a lot more to firefighting we don't think of, as the guys of New Bern's Engine 11 see unimaginable things.
There you go.
It's probably the favorite part of every firefighter's day, especially the guys on New Bern Fire-Rescue's Engine 11. It's extra special for firefighter Steve Jassett. He remembers as a kid growing up outside Boston, following fire trucks to their calls.
You always want to know where they're going, what they're doing, because every fireman loves being a fireman, you know. They don't ever want to do anything else.
Engineer Glenn Kiley lives the dream of every young boy and girl. He drives the fire truck.
Yeah, everybody wants to do it, but then when the bell hits, it's a bad thing the way you're going.
And these guys see a lot of bad things. Firefighter Jassett tells me about a motorcycle accident which left a lasting image in his mind.
We get there and I see the individual laying in the ditch and sitting upright, and I was like, man, that's terrible. And it was about an hour later that I figured out that was only from his waist up. The rest of him was like 30 feet down the road.
But it was his fellow firefighters, his brothers, like firefighter Johnny Gaskins, who helped him get through those tough times.
Having the guys here and being able to talk to the ones that were on the call with me it was easy. It made it easier.
It's a real tight-knit group. I spend a lot of time together here at the firehouse. I probably spend more time here at the firehouse than I do at my own house.
As firefighter Kylie closes in on 25 years with the department, he tells me his son, who goes to New Bern High School, wants to follow in his footsteps.
Proud of them, but you also get worried. For simple fact, because it's a dangerous job. You know, we go into fires and everybody else is coming out.
It's a job the guys at Engine 11 tell me takes a calling.
I think it takes a special person. Yes, by far. Just like everybody else here. If they didn't have it in their system to do it, they wouldn't be here.
And we have a very cool interactive map on our website, WNCT.com, where you can see how the firefighters of Engine 11 spend their day. And while you're there, you can also catch up on our other New Bern Fire story, which aired at 6. Brandon Goldner, 9 on your side.